So I was already doing small scale wraps, and we had a customer come in and said, "Well, I want my whole van wrap." I was like, "Okay." And we had a designer. I forgot to mention that we had a designer who would help me design, and he kind of taught me like a bit of graphic design, but he was very, very old school. Like I'm talking super old school. And the customer said, "Okay, let's do it." That guy designed it. Our other designer designed it, and then I finished the design. Ended up adding my own touch to it, my own spice. Customer approves it. I'm like, all right, let's do it. So I print the whole damn thing, and the customer drops off the van, and we go to apply it, or I go to apply it, and it was horrible. It was a very, very steep learning curve for me, and I was up, I think 3 days, like man, like 12 hours, 14 hour shifts trying to get this done. I was stressing. It was extremely hard to do. And I picked
like the design that he chose, or
no,
just
the
the
wrap
overall
itself,
job that
the wrap
was just
itself, because it was just insanely hard. The vinyl was the wrong type. Lining everything up was insanely complicated, and I destroyed it. We had to give him a full refund, and it was just a mess.
Oh man,
It was really bad. But like
but
I
it didn't
said,
discourage you.
it did not discourage me. I
Yeah.
said, all right, let's next one up. So then I peeled the wrap off of our cargo van that we had for the company. I peeled that off. And then I
You practice on that one.
printed the whole thing, and then did it on this, and then mastered it. And then I started doing little by little by little. I started getting good at it, and then we started doing more wraps and more wraps and more wraps. And we weren't doing a lot of wraps. It was just wraps, little wraps here and there. But I got really good at it. And then over the years, I started getting really good at graphic design. And then everybody just started asking for me. Everybody that would go in would be like, "Oh, it's Mark. Where's Marcos? Is Marcos here? Is Marcos there?" And they wanted me to design everything. They basically, everybody would go in there just asking for me for the design, for the wrap. And even if it wasn't my department, they would be like, "Oh, well, can you design my cards? Can you design my flyer? I don't want to go to that side of the shop. Can you do it?" I started getting really good at it. And then once I mastered it to the point where I was already doing wraps from my house in my garage, I was at the point where I was already working that job, and I was wrapping cars, in my garage. Because have a pretty good following on Instagram, so I would get a lot of requests for wraps because I had a lot of cars that were mine, that I owned, that were wrapped, and they look good, and a lot of people would ask me for wraps. So I would take those in. I would still work my job, but then in the weekends,
Little side hustle,
like we were talking about, I'd be wrapping cars in my garage, random cars, and I would make some money off of that, and it was going really good. It was a good time. Then I got to the point where I started realizing that I was a bit too comfortable, and this was already 10 or 11 years into working for that company. It was I spent a long time in that company, but I absorbed literally the whole damn company in my brain, like how to do everything from design to invoicing to talking to people, sales, wrapping, graphic design, fixing printers, IT. There's so much stuff that I learned and got down. Then I got to this point in my life where, so I had my salary because I was making good money because I was running the shop for them, technically, literally.
That was your business without being your business.
Without being my business, yeah. And I was wrapping from home, and I was in a point in my life where I was making good money, and I was like, okay, well, shit, let's travel. So I started traveling more, and then just going out, just living, But I knew that I wasn't fully happy, and it was because I just knew that I had talent and that I had something that not a lot of people had. To have this much knowledge in your brain, and I'm talking about like what I mentioned, like all this knowledge, graphic design, printing, fixing printers, wrapping. There's so much stuff in my brain. I just knew that it would be a waste for me to let somebody else enjoy that, or to let somebody else just, what do they say? Like, what do people say? Reap those benefits, right? So I slept on that for 3 years. 3 years is a long time for some people.
So that's when like your vision on life and the world and what you wanted to do with your life changed. Like that was the turning point.
It started changing, and unfortunately, I was drinking, I was partying, I was going out, And at the same time, I was working and wrapping cars and stuff, and I was just having fun. I was building my cars in my garage. I love old cars from the 80s, 90s, and I was just building those cars and having fun, doing swaps and modifying cars, going to car meets, blah, blah, blah. And I want to say a life-changing moment for me was I went to Vegas, and I was already in my head. I really wanted to start a shop. I was really contemplating branching out and doing this on my own. You know, just going solo, finding a spot, and just opening up a business, a wrap shop or a graphics shop or whatever the hell it would have been. I went to Vegas. I got really drunk. I lost my. I got locked out of my phone. I was in a club. I got locked out of my phone. I got stupid drunk, and I had already been feeling some type of way, where I felt like I was wasting time. You know, I just felt like I was wasting time, and every time I drank alcohol, I felt like sluggish, nasty. I just didn't feel good. I felt like a bum. And I'm not trying to say everybody who drinks is a bum or alcohol is bad for you or anything like that.
It's just you.
It's just me. It's just the way I felt.
That's what it did to you.
Every time I got drunk, every time I would drink, I just started feeling like that. But the turning point for me was when I went to Vegas. I got drunk, locked out of my phone in a club. And it was for a bachelor party. It was a bunch of dudes. And they couldn't find me in the club. They couldn't find me. They ended up leaving because they thought I went home because I was too drunk or whatnot to the Airbnb. I couldn't get back to my Airbnb because I was super drunk. I couldn't get access to my phone. It was a horrible night. That was like around 1 in the morning. I didn't get back till like 7 or 8 in the morning just because nobody wanted to pick me up because I was super drunk and I could barely remember it. But the life-changing moment or turning point was me um, driving back home, you know, in this old ass car that I have that I love.
You're talking about like Vegas to LA, like that
Vegas
4 hours, that 4 hour ride.
And I swear to you, in the back of my head, I was like, "This is it. Like, I do not want to do this anymore. I'm tired of this. Like, I do not want to keep wasting money, drinking. Like, this isn't cool, man. Like, I know for a fact I could do so much more than this. Like, I know I have so much potential.
Like,
and I had that itch.
I could do something.
I have this potential, and I'm not gonna waste it." And I got back home, and literally this was 3 years ago, 4 years ago. I stopped drinking. That was it. Now, the last time I ever drank was in Vegas that night. Stopped drinking, got back, and then I started.
You had a vision.
I had a vision, and I was like, all right, let's do this shit. Fuck it. I'm going all in. And this is already. I had 3 years thinking about doing this in the back of my head, and I would always postpone it, and I would always just push it aside, and just spend money, party, whatever. Came back, and I started looking for a shop. But before I did that, I went out and I bought, you know, I bought myself a computer, hard drives. I started putting together the setup. I put it in my room. I put that setup in my room, and I started outsourcing jobs. You know, I started delivering business cards, flyers, banners to little shops here and there that would need me. I would go and be like, "Hey, what's up, bro?" Like barbershops. I would go in there and be like, "Hey, what's up, you guys? Check it out. I'm a graphic designer. Are you guys in need of business cards or flyers?" And they would be like, "Oh yeah, we've been dying to do that." I would design them, send in the proofs, print them out, go pick them up at this place that I outsourced to. Pick them up, turn them in, get paid. That's what I was doing for a few months, right? That was my turning point. I was already doing that. Then I went out, and by luck, I found this small little shop that was for lease. I went in there, and I got the number down, and I called the property owners, and I told them, "Hey, you guys, I want to lease your shop." And they told me, "Yeah, sure thing, sure thing. This is how much the rent would be, blah blah. Just go ahead and apply." I applied. I didn't get it. I didn't get it because they didn't want people working on cars. And I told them, "Well, I'm not even gonna be doing wraps. You know, I want to offer printing services like business cards and flyers," and just didn't want to do it. So then I applied again, and I talked to one of the main owner, and I told him, "Hey, look, man, like, yes, I know how to rap, and yes, I might do raps from here, but that's not what I want to do right now. Like, I just want to focus on doing banners and signs." And in my head, the reason why I was saying that is because I just wanted to do simple stuff. Like, I wanted to just offer small stuff because I couldn't. There was no way I was gonna do raps because I had my job, my full-time job.
Yeah.
I was just like, just can't. It's impossible. So they said, okay, we'll give it to you. And this is when I tell you, like I said earlier, that I've only had these two life changing moments.
That was
like
the other one.
This was the other one because I said to my boss at that sign shop, I went in and I said, all right, I am gonna be here only part time. I'm not gonna be here anymore full time. I wanna come in at 6 and I wanna be able to leave at 12.
Mm-hmm.
In my head, I was like, okay, come in at 6, leave at 12, and by 1 I need to be at my shop. Once I signed this lease, I hadn't signed the lease yet. That was my idea. So I took this gigantic gamble where I was like, I'm gonna put all my savings into this. You know, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna burn a lot of money trying to make this work. I'm gonna go sign this lease and just go all in. And it was very, very nerve wracking for me to do that.
Yeah, bro, that's a hard thing
to give up a paycheck.
The comfort of being okay.
Put it this way, I was so scared that I didn't even want to leave that job full time. That's how scared I was. And yes, I was doing raps in my garage, but that wasn't enough. It wasn't enough, yeah. Because when you go solo, you have to make sure you have customers. And I didn't have a lot of customers. I had people that would want to wrap a car with me, yes, but it was just a one-time thing. They would come in and be like, oh, hey, check it out, bro, I want to wrap this car. I would wrap it, and that was it. Never again would I hear from them. So I told my boss that they agreed to it. I was like, okay, this was on a Friday. So I was like, this Monday, I start 6 to 12 p.m. at my job, my regular job. As soon as I get out of here, I'm gonna go sign this lease. And by then, I had already set up the paperwork and everything. We already agreed. I just needed to go sign the lease to get the keys to the shop. So went into my job Monday. Went into my job. I didn't even eat because I was so fucking nervous. Went in at 12. I went all the way to Burbank to the main office. Bro. Yeah, I went all the way to Burbank. My nerves were going crazy, and I had to give a fat ass deposit. I had this check with me. Went all the way to Burbank. I walked in there, and I sat down with them, and then I signed, and I gave him the money, and I got out of there, and I was very happy for myself. But I was like, fuck, like I kept on the way home, on the way to the shop, literally with the keys in my hand. I was just like, I really hope I didn't fuck up. I really, really hope this is right. It was just very, very nerve wracking. I got to the shop, I went in there, I opened it, and that was it. Yeah, that was it.
But that's how life is, man. It's a journey. Yeah. And when, like you said, when you get that little itch, you have to try it. You have to. I know sometimes it's an expensive check. Yeah. But it's like you took a gamble. Thankfully, retrospect has been doing extremely well. And it was all based on those chances you took, bro. You really feel like it's like this itch, bro, that you can't live comfortable if you don't do it. When the time is right, there's no telling. But that one day, I guess, like you have to try it. And that's how retrospect was born. Yeah. So just out of curiosity, man, how did you come up with that name? Like, what's the story behind that name?
So, well, before that, when I got the keys to the shop, I went in there. I brought all the stuff that I had at the house over, and I literally just had my computer, my desk that I bought on OfferUp for $100, and right off the bat, bro, I started burning money. It was very hard. It's very hard to invest in something without getting the money right away. Because I was doing jobs for it's a learning curve, bro. You start giving people, you start doing jobs, and you just want to be good on a customer. You want to be good to the customer, but then you start realizing like, whoa, shit, they're not paying me, So it's just a very steep learning curve. And eventually, retrospect started doing better and better and better, and I started getting more customers, and I was getting customers literally just by word of mouth. That was it. Just off of business cards, flyers, and I started meeting people here and there, and people would talk about me, and through my Instagram, my personal Instagram, and my retrospect printing page, People started sharing my stuff, so it started getting momentum, and people started ordering more stuff, and they would tell me, "Oh, I love the designs. Your designs are dope, man," and just started picking up momentum. So I went in to my job. I was already 6 months in. It only took me 6 months to quit my job. I went in, and I felt comfortable. I was like, "All right, cool. I'm keeping myself afloat. You know, I haven't had to sell anything so far. I'm good. Yes, I blew through my savings, but I'm good. Like,
you're not going negative.
I'm not negative. Yeah. I'm good, and everything is paid for. I didn't get no loans, nothing, no debt. So I was like, okay, I can keep myself afloat. I'm good. I went in, talked to my boss, and I told them, I'm sorry, man, but this is it. Like, I'm quitting. They were very pissed. They weren't happy about that.
Well, because you were running their business.
Yeah, and they offered me the business. They wanted to sell me the business, but I just did not want to take anything. I wanted to start fresh by myself. I said no to them many, many times. We ended up in not bad terms, but just
it was tough.
It was rough. Yeah, it was rough. And I don't talk to them anymore. They don't reach out to me, and I have no hard feelings for anybody. Yeah, but I just left, and that was it. And then I went in full time. I went in all in, and it just started working out. Little by little, it just started working out. But
it took
going
work,
back to your question,
you know, it took work. It wasn't easy.
It wasn't easy, man.
Man, that's the part that
and I'll get to.
Need to understand
I'll get to
how much work it takes.
And that honestly, quit. I look back at it, and I'm like, maybe that was the easiest part. Quitting my job and going all in was the easy part. What comes after is the hardest part in business. Figuring out how to manage your time, taxes. There's so much learning that went in the first year, year and a half. But before I get there, I want to answer your question. So retrospect, I consider myself very retro. The cars that I like, the music that I like is very retro. I love trance. I love dead mouse. I love just these old synthesizer beats. I just love that type of music. So that's where retro.
That's that vibe.
That's vibe. That's me. Yeah. Very retro. And spec, I want to say retrospect is if you tell me, hey bro, like I want to design, for example, this that I designed for you. It's very retro looking. And that's what retrospect stands for. Okay. It's everything that I design, everything that I do, all the raps, everything is.
It has that little touch, that touch of retro.
It's oriented more towards the past and how bright everything was back then. Like every design, everything was just bright, and that's the reason why we make these sweaters in these colors, in these pastels, and.
Now that makes more sense now. You know what I mean? Like people need to understand the why you do what you do, and that's why it's important. I always tell people to make it passionate.
Yeah.
Because you can't cheat passion. You know, it just comes with it, and it's a beautiful thing when your idea and your passion they connect, and then you have like something so meaningful. You know.
Yeah. I think coming up with the name was the easy part. Designing the logo was the hard part. But I'm very picky, and it took me forever to get it down. And simplicity is the key. When it comes to any type of business, whether it's in marketing, simplicity is the key. You have to keep it as simple as possible. And that's why my logo looks the way it does, because it's straight to the point, simple, clean. That's it.
Damn, bro. That was a good story about business, bro. But what about today? Marcos, right now, you've been in business how many? 3 years?
3 years.
Okay, 3 years. You've gone through the little roller coaster of, you know, like you said, seeing the tough times of business, the tough side of business. So what's up with Marcos like right now? Like, what's your vision, bro? Do you have when you think of a vision, how far down do you look? 10 years, 20 years, 5 years, you know, like what goes through your head when it comes about to retrospect as a business, as you as a person? Like what's going on in your head right now, bro?
I don't know.
That's too much.
No, it's hard. It's hard because to me, time is everything. And a lot of people tell me that I'm addicted to time, and I think I am. I love to pre-plan, like ahead. My whole week, my day, I already know what I'm going to do. I already know what I'm going to do next Saturday, next Sunday, next Monday. It's already in my head. But for some reason, I can't plan. or foresee my future. I just can't. I know I'm in a good spot. I know my life is really good right now, and I know that probably retrospect will grow and will end up meaning something meaningful. But I don't know.
You know what I think it is too is like we're figuring out who we are in this same journey because that Marcos before retrospect is the same. It's not the same Marcos as today. So even your beliefs might change, your wants, what you want out of life, like because now you're at a different spot. So it's you can't connect the past with today. Like those are just lessons that brought you here. And I feel like the future Marcos is gonna look at this Marcos and be like, damn, I should have done this different. Or because it's all a learning process.
Yeah, you're right.
And that's the scary part, but at the same time, that's an interesting part that you don't know.
But I'm not forcing anything.
Yeah, you're just doing your thing.
I'm not forcing nothing. If my company or my business grows bigger than what it is right now and it just keeps growing and growing and growing, that's perfectly fine. But at the end of the day, honestly, I'll be honest with you, at the end of the day, I'm just happy that I pulled the trigger and that I'm showcasing my talent. That I don't feel like I work, honestly. It doesn't feel like work to me. And I honestly feel like I found it. I'm in content. I'm putting everything, all my resources, my knowledge, everything to good use. And that's what I'm happy about. So from here forward, whether I end up becoming this extremely successful, wealthy guy, I don't care, man.
That's not the point.
That's not the point.
That's not the
I don't look forward to
that. That's what I was trying to hear you say. Like we don't know, as long as you're enjoying it and you're okay. That's honestly that's the journey. You gotta enjoy the journey. The fruits that come with it, take them because you earn them. But that doesn't, I feel like at the end of the day, like you said, it's just it just is, bro.
Yeah,
it is what it has to be.
And I'll forever be a simple guy. I think that's another thing. So that I'm not looking for luxuries and I'm not looking for riches and I'm not looking to be like this. I'm not trying to be up there. I'm just trying to literally showcase my talent and then just have a purpose. And I found my purpose. And I know this is good for me and I know that it'll take me far. And just to know that self-taught, no college, from the hood.
Talking about from the hood, that's a good segue right now, bro. This is your sweater. It's a South Central University.
Dope.
It has a big meaning for me again. Shout out Retrospect for designing.
For putting it forward.
Yeah, man. So South Central University, bro. I'll make a video about the story because this is about you right now. But you could wear that proudly, man.
Thank you,
That's
man.
for you.
Thank you.
It's an honor to give that to you because honestly, it makes me feel good to see you wear that, because it means a lot to me. And like I said, I'm very proud of you, bro. Very proud of you. Not just business, as a person. I'm very proud of everything you've accomplished and
thank you, bro. Thank you.
And the person you've become. Like really, thank you for being here. And taking the time because I know you're busy.
And I just want to say something. In my family, I am the second oldest, right? After a cousin of mine that are in our group, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to be a good role model. That's it. I just want to be a good role model. And I believe that with what I'm doing right now, because they know, my family knows the shit I've been through or the shit I put them through. Mm-hmm. So to know that I overcame all of that, right? And I'm doing this today. I'm talking about my business. It feels good to know that I'm a good role model to them and that they can, if they wanted to, look at me as an example.
Yeah, as they should. And that's as they should. And like you said, you're not forcing anything. That's just who you are. And it comes with it, bro. People admire you. I admire you.
Thank you, man. I admire you too.
You can't hate because we know the hustle. We know the struggle, and it makes me happy to see you with your business, bro. It makes me happy to see you as a person, like I said, because I feel like you're doing it the right way.
Thank you.
I know it's not easy.
There's still a lot more in store for us.
And now you're an uncle to my son, and I always tell him, like, man, like you're Tío Marcos, all of his steals. Thankfully, all of his steals are really good role models for him, man.
Yeah.
And I'm blessed to have that in our family because you know, like I said, it's all about the next generation, bro.
Yeah.
It's all about the next generation. Honestly, that's why I'm doing this, and I want to have people who inspire and motivate, and you're definitely one of those people, bro.
Thank you, man.
So I just want you to know that I want to give you your flowers, man, in life.
Thank you.
You know, when it matters.
Yeah, there's.
And yeah, man. I don't know. I think there could be an episode 2 with Marcos because there's a lot to talk about.
Yeah, there's still a lot.
But we're not gonna make a 3-hour movie right now. This is like the intro to Marcos retrospect, and we could for sure do another one, bro. Like talking about a lot more stuff. But I just wanted people to get to know you because like I said, I know you, and I know that you're gonna be a positive impact on people that watch the video and hear your story. You know, so I was like, let's put you out there.
Yeah, you know? And if we do this a few years from now, God knows where I'll be. Hopefully by then I could give a better inspirational, I don't know, timeline, I guess. I don't know.
That's not the point, though. That's not the point.
No, but you know,
you're doing your thing. Just keep doing your thing, and you're gonna have a story to tell.
That is
true. Don't. Talks Over Tacos was born, like I said, an idea that I had 4 years ago in 2019, and look, it barely came out today, bro. 4 years later.
I just,
you know,
I just want to end it with, to anybody that's out there, right? That is working. So, to anybody that has a talent, just follow it. Follow it and put it to good use. And you could keep your job, but just apply it as a side hustle or go all in like I did. But just follow it. Because if you have a talent, if you're good at something, don't let it go to waste. And then that's pretty much it. I'm a walking testimony to that. So yeah, just testament to that. So just pushing it forward for whoever is in my shoes, you know, because I was there. But
yeah, man, that's well said. Honestly, that's well said. You know, one day at a time, work on your craft, and that's it. Only time will tell. You know. So thank you for coming, man. Again,
thank you for inviting me. Like I said,
the man himself. Follow him on Instagram. I'm gonna put the description. Tag him on there. I'm gonna take pictures. Follow us on Talks Over Tacos. I'm gonna take a picture. Tag him there. Multiple accounts. So like Mark said, right? 32.
No, that's my personal.
Oh, not that one. That one too.
No, not that one.
Not that one. I'm not gonna tag. Yeah, we'll edit.
Retrospect.
Just the retrospect one.
Yeah, retrospect_printing is
And like I said, follow Talks Over Tacos. I'm gonna take a picture. We'll tag them on there, so it's easy. Just click, get to know them. You got to know them, man. If you need anything, man, like beautiful, look, all this stuff is his work. Literally this. Just ask, and he got you.
Thank you.
All right, man.
Thank you for having me.
Cut.